Autism is a neurological disorder which is not really very well understood.
You know, the one trademark of Asperger's kids is that they don't talk a lot about a lot of things. They're not exactly social animals.
In many respects, it's a gift.
Autism is scary, fear for my own child.
It's a disorder in your communication skills, your social relatedness.
In my personal opinion, autism is a mutation in the brain chemistry and nerve and cranial nerve arrangement.
Autism is a unique disability that is seen in somewhere in between 1 out of 166 and 500 kids.
Autism really is just, to me, just a set of challenges and strengths. It's got its ups and it's got its downs.
In a way, it's helpful with your brain power. You are kind of more smart. I kind of learned how to play. I'm a quick learner, and well, you get the idea.
Anova Education and Behavior Consultation is a non-profit charitable corporation providing consultation and private school services throughout Northern California. The Anova Center for Education, known as the ACE School, is an important part of this unique organization. The Anova Center for Education specializes in providing social cognition therapy, positive behavior support, and sensory integration in a seamlessly integrated and highly specialized academic environment.
I am Stephen Brief and I am autistic.
I'm Jeremy Rogers and I have Asperger's.
My name is Rebecca McAteer Dawson and I have autism.
The Anova Center for Education serves children diagnosed with high-functioning autism, Asperger's syndrome, and other neurodevelopmental impairments. In an already underserved population, these children are the least likely to be identified, understood, and treated with the quality and respect they deserve. Together, we can provide the help and the hope that these children and families have had in such short supply.
My name is Ryan Clark Sorensen, and I have autism.
I am Jordan Steeper. Hello. I happen to be on the autistic spectrum.
Children with autism and Asperger's syndrome are bright, many with above average IQs, but they often don't understand humor or socially fit in with other kids. Because of this, they may face emotional or behavioral challenges in the classroom or on the playground. Sometimes these challenges become so severe that children cannot even be safely served in their own neighborhood school. Until the ACE school, families and public school districts had nowhere to turn for help. With our unique educational mission, Anova is changing that. Anova means change.
The ACE school is founded on the belief that every student has the ability to learn, including students with neurodevelopmental impairments like autism and nonverbal learning disability. And while many of the public school systems here in Sonoma County have made a valiant effort to create programs and services to treat these kids, they're not always successful. And so a certain percentage of students need a therapeutic environment, and that is what we offer. We are a therapeutic milieu, basically meaning from the time a student steps in the door in the morning at 8:30 until they leave at 2:30 in the afternoon, they are receiving therapy of some sort, either social cognition therapy, occupational therapy, academic therapy, or positive behavior intervention.
I can't find it.
It's on there, you're right. I'll help you.
Anova is special, I feel, because it affects so many lives outside of just these students that we service here. Their families, their siblings. It's the ripple effect, really. And we've been able to do some good stuff with these kids on a social level, to where their parents have been able to see huge increases in the social activities that they're able to participate in.
Yeah, now you're on it. So on this one, let's try to go in a circle around. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go.
The students here at Anova, they're really fortunate, and what makes our program so successful for them, I believe, is the fact that it's all-encompassing. So at our school, we totally understand that social cognition deficits don't just impact relationships. You can't separate academics from social, from interacting with people. It's all one thing. So at our school, we have an occupational therapist here who sees the kids individually and consults with the teacher to give them strategies, the sensory strategies they need for sensory diets in the classroom, for example. Encouraging the teachers, let them chew gum, let them suck on candy, let them bounce on a ball, give them fidgets. All these things are going to help with their attention, and when you have their attention, that's when learning happens. The speech-language therapist, myself, I'm part of this program here full-time, seeing kids individually, seeing kids in groups, seeing kids in the classroom, doing a whole class lesson. Therefore, the staff, the teachers all see what I do. We have meetings on a regular basis so that we can have a cohesive program. We're always consulting, sharing strategies with each other, bouncing ideas off, sharing what's worked, what we're working on, to continue with all of that. So it's this really lovely program that so few places can offer.
Look at the vowel and think about what sound it's going to make.
Oh, it's going to make it.
Right. I think you come and look and sit in any of these classrooms and see what is going on and see how amazing it is, and see the changes in these kids, and seek out other parents and talk to other parents about what kind of changes they've seen in their kids, because you don't get this in a typical environment, and you get the constant interaction between specialists and staff, and it doesn't exist anywhere else.
By providing the appropriate amount of attention to the individual, this is what I think is the best part of the school, as they recognize what each individual kid needs, and they match it and they provide it. And that's where the success, I feel, lies.
A struggle. I watched my son go from a sweet, innocent child in the public school system to a tormented child with post-traumatic stress disorder.
My child was in a normal school environment, but it was a complete disaster. He was not equipped to handle that many stimuli. The teachers are not equipped to handle him, and I was being called to the school 2 and 3 times a week to pick him up because they just couldn't handle him.
Public school was very, very difficult. I was the parent that walked my child in every day, went home, stayed by the phone, never left. I mean, it ruled my whole routine.
I've been in a lot of situations with my son where he has not been treated with respect, and he was a very unhappy person.
I, a long time ago, felt very uncomfortable, depressed.
Everybody teased me there.
Well, the kids were kind of a little mean, but that's kind of how a public school is.
I was teased often. People kicked my backpack just because it had wheels.
The most notable thing I can remember is when I got a 1-pound rock dropped on my head from some kid on top of the slide who was trying to be impressive to some bully kid.
When I was in elementary school and I asked if I could play with someone, they said, "Oh yeah, sure, tomorrow, maybe." When that day came in, they usually I never wanted to play with you.
I had a hard time with work, and my teacher would give me detentions, and she would keep me in from recess because that I couldn't complete a worksheet, or I'd stand up on a desk and jump around, when in fact that was anxiety, and I just needed help with my work. I didn't need to be punished. I just needed an extra push with my work so that I could get through it.
People could take me signs on my back. They said to give me stuff, and I did what they asked me to do. When they handed me the video games, I started running back to class once, and the guy just tackled me on the blacktop.
The teacher didn't understand me, and then the kids understand me, so that's what happened. Very hard.
Parents come back after 30 days for a 30-day placement meeting after their children have been here, and it's usually just within that period of time that everyone's crying, and it's because it's not just the kids' lives that are being changed, it's the whole family.
Anova saved our life, literally. My son was here for 2 years and decided on his own to stop taking his post-traumatic stress disorder medication. And it was like the Lord shined on us with this school, because I don't know where we'd be now without it. Truly, the school saved our life.
Probably one of the biggest things that has happened since he started attending Anova is he actually has friends now, and he does things outside of home. Normally he would just stay home and, look at books or read books, watch movies, and now he actually has friends, and they go out in the community and do things together. And it's just been really wonderful.
He's thriving in an environment where he's actually transitioned out of Anova and into a public school setting, which is ultimately our goal with all these students, is to really get them into Anova, supply the treatment that we can for them, so they can socially and academically go back into the public school system and be successful.
Within 2 months, he was a different child. He was happier. He was a different child, and I look at him when he was in 5th grade, and I see him today. He's happy, he can socialize, he has eye contact, which is another thing that kids don't have, is when they talk to people, they either don't talk to him or you can't get eye contact. He has eye contact, he can express himself, he can explain himself. You can have a conversation with him.
Well, I've said often that these people are saints. What they've done with him is a true success story. He's been here for about 6-7 years, and I don't know where we'd be without them. He has totally redefined, I think, how he approaches school. They redefined how they deal with him. I never get a call. That's not an issue with Anova. You don't get phone calls saying, "Come pick up your child." They'll take care of it.
Anova, I know he's safe here. He's happy. He's learning. All the things you want for your child.
They've helped me with my social skills. They've helped me with how to use those social skills out into the real world. With either with girls or either with your own friends. Basically thinking of others is what they've focused on here, and that's a lot. I really thank Andrew Bailey for the school they gave us here. I mean, I really feel fortunate that we found a place like this. That I can go to school, not having to feel bullied, not they get bullied every day, teased, harassed, all that stuff, that goes on at a regular high school.
Anova is one of the best schools that I've ever seen. It's an extraordinary school. I've been going to it for a few years now, and I've come so far. I can go out in the community now. I can go into stores. I used to be afraid to go into stores. It was really overwhelming. And with the help of Miss Alicia, my teacher, who I've had for the last few years here at Anova, she's helped me academically and socially. She's brought me through hard times. And
years before, I have a stack of paper about that tall that is C's and D's, and I have a stack of paper twice as tall of it that is A's or better from here.
If you know 150 people, you know someone who has experienced the devastating effects of autism. Your support is essential for the future of our students and their families. Get involved. Participate in the excellence by giving to the Anova Center for Education, giving children something to dream and offering hope through education.